She's down under, but she's on top of the world, and she won't stop. Flying free, no looking back, turning every crack into a map. Hello, beautiful. Welcome to an episode of Likha Love. Today's guest is Sheree Ann. Sheree Ann is a certified Neuro Transformational timeline therapy master and quantum healing practitioner. With over 12 years of experience in the online space, Sheree has mentored thousands of women entrepreneurs to release self-doubt, fear, and subconscious limiting beliefs, helping them step into their next level of leadership and wealth. Her work has supported 8-figure leaders such as Luke Hawkins, as well as their global clients at retreats and live events around the world. Sheree's transformational approach blends subconscious reprogramming, energetics, and strategy, guiding women to create their lasting inner freedom, embodied confidence, and limitless wealth. Sheree Ann has personally helped transform my own life through her coaching and mentorship, and I cannot wait for you guys to meet her. Hi guys, I just want to welcome to you a special guest. This is Sheree Ann. Everybody say hi to Sheree. Hello,
hey
Sheree.
Everyone. Hello, my love.
Thank you for being on the show today. I am super stoked that you are here because you have made a huge impact on my life personally. And I want people, the whole world, to know why I have chosen you to be a part of this show, because I feel like what you've done for me, I feel like people should know. Seriously,
Yeah.
I did a, what would you call that? A 3-month
Like a 3-month
mentorship.
Yeah, but really it was even more than that. It's, that group coaching container is all about like identity and leadership recalibrating, becoming the woman who not only attracts wealth with ease, but comes back to herself, her true identity, and steps back into her power.
Yes. And that for sure you have helped me with so much. I have shared before on one of my previous podcasts that one session with you, I actually overcame my fear of worms that I have had since I was 3 years old. And it was something that had affected me in adulthood. And I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
It's amazing. So I want you to share, what is it with quantum healing and timeline therapy? Like, can you explain that to people who have never heard of it before? Because I know I haven't until I met you. And I met you actually through Enagic.
That's right. Yes.
We are in an Enagic group. If you don't know what Enagic is, it is a company that sells these ionizer. It's more than just a filter. And we were having a Zoom call, and she did. You explain it.
I will. Yeah, it's, the quantum recoding and the subconscious reprogramming is something so special and so transformational. So there are 2 different methods that I use within my one-on-one and group coaching. So the timeline therapy, right? Why this is so powerful is because we all have beliefs from past events, from past generations, and even from this lifetime. And it's not even like beliefs that we're consciously aware of. Like, you might be aware of yourself, like being a little bit of, scared of the fear of judgment, or telling yourself, I'm not good enough. But a lot of the time there's beliefs and patterns and self-sabotaging behaviors that stop us from living a life in our full power, in our full leadership, in our highest identity. So in timeline therapy, I ask certain questions in a certain way to help you get clear on what those exact beliefs are. Things like, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, all of that. Then from that place, in a beautiful grounded state, you're not you're not hypnotized, you're not out of it, you're just very grounded. And we're really talking to the subconscious mind, not the critical brain that's like, how is this even happening? And if you're listening to this now, you're probably thinking, how would that even work? How would I do that? We're working with the subconscious brain. The subconscious knows everything, and it's responsible for your results right now in life, business, marriage, everything, right? In work. So using certain questions, I support you to get clear on when those patterns, when those beliefs first came up. As I said, it could be past generation, past life, in the womb, or this lifetime. Then I support you to go back to that event, and we do a few different things. And I support you to get the positive lessons from that event. Because when you get the positive lessons from that event, you're actually, and this is scientifically proven, you're rewiring neurological pathways in the brain. And that's what creates the rapid instant change. That's what, switches you from I'm not good enough to I'm in my unshakable confidence. I am worthy of all I desire, right? I am powerful. Now, this can't be done with affirmations or anything like that. It's got to be done with timeline therapy and being in a beautifully grounded state. And of course, with someone that actually knows what they're doing and what to say. So the subconscious programming, reprogramming, the timeline therapy is all very science-based, right? It's proven that you can rewire limiting beliefs using timeline therapy within 5 to 10 minutes, which is insane.
It's insane. I mean, it took one session and you totally cleared something that has been controlling my life since I was 3 years old.
Yeah.
Just one session. It's amazing.
Yeah, exactly. You're proof to the testament of how quickly it works. And this isn't just you. It's like thousands of women that I've worked with that have had these shifts in like 5 to 10 minutes, one session. It's insane. And it really is life-changing. So I love that you shared that. It's really cool, really beautiful. And then the quantum recoding, the quantum healing, that's where we work more on the energetic body. So it's not something that your conscious brain, your conscious mind is going to see right away. It's quantum healing is based on, the belief that we're taking you back to your soul state, your pure soul self, before any, very similar to timeline therapy, before any beliefs, patterns, or behaviors were imprinted on you. So timeline therapy is the scientific subconscious reprogramming. We're working on neural pathways. Quantum healing is all about the energetic body. So it's really beautiful because I love what I do because it's working on both things. It's not just the mind, it's the energetic body. And I feel like that's where the power comes in.
Yeah. And it all comes together though. I mean, we are energy, and what controls us is our mind. And it's like the one thing that I have done the last couple of years is, been so determined on rewiring my brain because it affects everything, your reality, everything, literally everything. Your mind controls everything. But the one thing that I really, I guess, the subconscious, you don't really, there's only so much you can do with the affirmations and digging deep into your shadows and, journaling, all that. There's only so much you can do, but there's some stuff really back there that you are not even aware of. And with the work that you do, you have helped unlock all these things, in my past that was controlling my life that I didn't even realize. So your work is so important. When I first met you, the goal was to help with, limiting beliefs when it comes to money. But it was just, for me, it was more than that. You really transformed my life in so many ways. It's like every time we met for a Zoom call, I was unlocking something, that was life changing. It was one transformation after another. Just every time we talked about a limiting belief, every time we did timeline therapy, I was unlocking things that I had no idea was an issue.
Yeah. And that's the thing with the subconscious, right? Is we don't see or hear things that are going on there. Because our conscious mind blocks it. It takes someone to say things in a certain way, ask questions in a certain way to be able to unlock it. I don't know how many conversations I've had with women entrepreneurs where they're like, oh, I don't really have any limiting beliefs, right? Like, take, for example, a beautiful, beautiful woman I had a conversation with late last year. She's doing incredible things. She's making incredible, incredible money. But she still wasn't hitting her goals, and she wasn't feeling like in her power. She, a sale wouldn't go through, or someone wouldn't pay an invoice, and she'd lose her power, right? And spiral for days. And maybe you're listening to this and you're like, oh gosh, yeah, I've done that too.
Yeah.
So when we got chatting about limiting beliefs, she was like, no, I don't have any of those. I was like, okay, cool, yeah, no worries. And I kept asking questions. And then lo and behold, as we got deeper and deeper, and I started asking more questions, and of course, really building that beautiful rapport and connection, we found, like, I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable, right? The deepest, lowest negative beliefs that she had that were stopping her from jumping into her next level, not just of wealth, but of leadership and identity. And when we rewired that one, she had the next day $8,000 in sales. That's how
amazing.
And she stepped back into her power. Because yes, it's about my work is about becoming the woman who can sell with ease, can receive wealth with ease. But the main transformation is the identity and the leadership, the person you become, the woman you become. Exactly like you said, right? You came for like business and up-leveling the income, but what you got was a whole new identity.
Yes, exactly. Like I became more fearless, like every time. Last year was just like I had so much happening in my life that like every fear that had come up, I faced, and it's like I wanted these triggers to come up because I wanted to face them and I wanted to transmute them so I could be this person that I am today. I didn't want to live in fear anymore. I didn't want to feel like I was unworthy of anything good in my life. I lived that life before and I didn't want that life again. So I thought it was, so important for myself to invest in myself to make sure that I wasn't having any blocks in my life, negative beliefs that was keeping me stuck and keeping me, from, I guess, advancing to the better version of me. And it's been such a fun year for me, saying yes to things that scare me and unlocking all these parts of me that I didn't know existed, simply because I started getting rid of these limiting beliefs that was stopping me from doing the things that I wanted to do.
I love that. That's so good. And you know what? Like how you said, like, things started coming up, things you wanted to do, new experiences, and you've done amazing things in the last 12 months since I've known you, right? And that's the thing, is beliefs come from events, whether they're big events, they could even be small events, but those events take up space in our brain. And that's where the lack of clarity, the fogginess, the uncertainty, the self-doubt come from, because when there's no space, there's no space.
Yes.
Right? But now that you did so much like recoding, reprogramming, and alchemizing and shifting into a new level of leadership and identity, you're able to see new things that light you up.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Like this podcast, like who would have thought, a year ago that I would start something that was so brave. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there and talk about things that might be woo-woo, talk about things that, that people don't really want to talk about. And, for me, it's a lot of, I am opening up to a lot of traumas and a lot of things that I have grown from, because I feel like there needs to be awareness out there. And to have you on here to to have this interview with me and to talk about the things that's transformed my life. I wish I would have known about this type of healing work, a long time ago. But now it's becoming, people are becoming more aware of it. And I want to be, hop on that, that train where I'm telling people about it, because I feel like more people need to know that they can transform their life too. And there are people out there like you who are doing this type of, magic
Yeah.
and helping so many people all over the world, just helping people reprogram their mind. And
Yeah.
it's just amazing. And it's just, I feel like it needs to be known more.
Yeah.
It needs to go, be out there. People need to be aware of it, so then that they know who they can go to and what can they do for
Absolutely.
their life.
I love that. I love that. And yeah, you're right. It is becoming more known, like timeline therapy, quantum healing, the fact that we can heal from past events and, rewire neurological pathways and bring back our power. And, over the years, there's been many different methods and, like affirmations, journaling, like you said, but like hand on heart, there's nothing I've seen that shifts women as quickly as timeline therapy does, and including doing the work myself, because of course I had it done on me first when I was like really learning and mastering the methods, and nothing shifted me as quickly as timeline therapy and quantum healing did. It's just
So
been
what
a game changer.
introduced you? Like, how did you come about knowing about timeline therapy and quantum healing and, trying it for yourself?
Yeah, good question. So quantum healing, I was at a retreat in Peru about 4 years ago, and I'd never really heard about I'd heard a little about quantum healing. I'd never really experienced it. And I never thought I would become like a quantum healing practitioner. That wasn't on my mind 4 years ago, but I really received a download in, one of the ceremonies we did that I needed to do quantum healing. I needed to learn how to do it to support others. So I did a certification with one of my mentors. And of course, through doing the certification, we were practicing on each other. So I wasn't just learning, I was receiving throughout, all those months. I think I did it for about 6 months, the certification. And I loved it, especially like there's some deep inner child healing you can do through quantum healing, which I'm sure for many of the listeners there, a lot of the stuff, like the things that are stopping you, the fears, the beliefs are from childhood. We're pretty programmed from 0 to 7 until like our prefrontal cortex comes online and we start to realize that, okay, no, that's not really true. But before that, we just take on everyone else's beliefs as ourselves. So I love the inner child healing. There's so much other like deep energetic recoding that goes with quantum healing, and it's all very bespoke to the person you're working with. So I loved it, and I did it one-on-one. And then almost 2 years to the date, actually, one of my old mentors invited me to an event in Sydney with one of my now mentors, former mentors, Luke Hawkins. And she just told me it's all about learning timeline therapy. You're going to go through all these breakthroughs. And I was like, okay, amazing. I'll just try it out. I actually did not realize it was a certification till the day I was in the room. And he mentioned it. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe this could be something to, do my coaching with. And I had been a chef on yachts for 15 years and I was coaching alongside yachting. So when I was off the boats, I was coaching. So I'd had about a 6-month break because I just gotten off charter. So I went to this event. I did my prac certification of timeline therapy and Neuro Transformational timeline therapy. And I loved it. I had my own breakthroughs were huge because I was feeling so stuck, stagnant. I still had this self-doubt about even launching a business, about out earning my yachting income. I had beliefs like, who's going to pay me that much?
Yeah.
How am I going to do that? I'm going to have to work really hard to replace my yachting salary. all these things that had me procrastinating, second guessing myself, and stopping me from relaunching my coaching business. So when I walked, and maybe you're listening to this and you've felt the same at some point, but when I walked out of that room, I felt so powerful, so excited, so lit up that at the end of the 3-day event, I launched that coaching business, relaunched.
Yeah.
I had 2 clients sign up that day. And within
Wow.
30 days, I'd done a 19.5K launch, which I'd never in my life before done. And that's because of the new identity, the new level of leadership that I had unlocked. Now, of course, we're always upgrading. And that doesn't mean we have to always look for something to fix, but we are always upgrading. Like my identity back then and what I was tolerating is even when I did a 20K launch is so different now.
Yeah.
She's up here. She's looking at the next thing. She's not even tolerating what was there. And that's very normal. We grow and evolve. So that's how I got into both of those beautiful modalities. And I found a way that I can weave them both together and do them, with the groups, with the one-on-one, and provide like a really rapid, deep transformation like you experienced.
Yeah. I mean, both was huge for me. And that's amazing that you were invited to do this. You were just told about it. And then 3 days later, you're certified. Like, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. You weren't expecting it, but it was meant to be.
Yeah, it was wild. And from there, I went on to do my master's in timeline therapy and NTT, and I just kept learning and growing and really mastering the art of subconscious reprogramming. But yeah, I love that it all started with an invitation that I could have easily said no to. But if I didn't, I mean, my life, I don't even know what my life would look like now. I'd probably be back on the yachts.
Yeah. And the yacht, I can't imagine, like, when did you sleep? Honestly, you're cooking so many meals all day. And I've seen those yachting shows, and I'm like, and I remember when I was 18, I had helped with I went to a camp, and I decided to be a part of the kitchen staff for the week. And I just remember we're up in the crack of dawn, and then we go to bed so late, serving hundreds of people. Like, it was just like an experience. It was a fun experience, but there really was no sleeping.
Yeah. You just learn to manage your time.
Yeah.
You just learn to manage your time. And when you've done it for as long as I had, like cooking in kitchens and cooking on yachts, meal prep, mise en place it made my life so much easier.
Wow. I can't imagine that life, it's a lot of hard work, I'm sure. And then, but I'm sure you got to see a lot of beautiful places, and it took you to a lot of beautiful places.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I got to see a lot of beautiful spots. Of course, most of it was just through a porthole. I didn't really truly get to see and experience the cultures. But yeah, for 15 years, I definitely saw a lot more than I would have if I was working in a kitchen, in a restaurant.
Yeah. So what is the biggest energetic shift someone could make today? Just by sitting here and listening, what is something that they can do to help them shift their mindset, or to help them to become the better version that they know they could be?
I love that question. Because there's always a way we can make an immediate shift. And so one way is to just decide that you're going to do something different that is going to put you in a new identity. Right? And I'm sure if you're listening to this podcast or watching it, that there's already one thing that you get to choose to do differently to get you into a higher identity, a next level of leadership, a next level of vibration, if you will. Right? So just ask yourself a high-level question to activate the answer to that question. If I was to know, what's one thing I get to do now or get to do today in order to shift my identity now, in order to shift into the next level of leadership now? Whatever comes through, trust that. because it can be a little bit cheesy, but it's so true. And it takes yourself asking these kind of questions or someone else asking you these kind of questions. The answer is always within. So ask yourself, what is one thing you get to do to shift into a higher vibration now? And trust that. And don't just listen to it, actually do it. Because there's one thing to receive information or to get an idea. The second part to creating change is actually taking action on that idea.
Yeah.
So ask the question and then take the action. Because without action, it's just an idea. It's just an idea of an upgrade. Without the action, nothing's actually going to change. We can hope, wish, and pray for everything. But if we're not taking the aligned action, nothing will shift. We're just hoping and praying and putting those thoughts out into the thin air.
Yeah, yeah.
So that would
For
be my
sure.
thing. If you're looking for instant change, ask the question. You already know what it is, and actually take the action. And it doesn't have to be huge. It could be that you're getting up half an hour earlier in the mornings. It could be that you're moving your body every single day. It could be that you're going to catch yourself every time you hear yourself saying, I'm not good enough. You're going to quickly catch yourself and go like, I am good enough. You know, whatever it is for you, and switch back into that identity. So that would be one of my tips to change your identity, change your current level of leadership instantly.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know one of the things that, I keep in mind for myself, I'm like, the better version of me, what is her habits? What is something that I need to change today? Because I know that better version of me is going to be doing it, So a lot of like little things like, oh, I'm going to, gargle coconut oil, do oil pulling every single morning, that better version of me is going to have that routine because she's going to have amazing white teeth without having to go to the dentist and pay for all these chemicals, to put on her teeth. Like little things like that, it's that better version of yourself, they're going to take those steps. They're going to do those little habits. And so I was just like, okay, I'm every morning I make myself, that is my goal for myself. Like I'm going to do little things like that. Cause that better version of me who has it all, she's got good habits. And I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Absolutely.
These little steps is what adds up.
It really does. It really does. And because you don't need to overwhelm yourself and change so many things, so many actions, so many habits straight away. But if you're changing like one habit once a week to really recalibrate and step into the version of you who has the, whatever it is, the money, the relationship, the marriage, the work, the business, the leadership level, the power, the confidence. If you're doing one thing every week to recalibrate to her and act as her from a place of already being her and already having the end result, that's where the quantum shifts change. That's where they come from, right? That's why they happen so much quicker, because you're acting from a place of it already being done.
Yes.
Not from a fake it till you make it, but from acting as the version of you who already has the end result. And that's when timelines collapse. That's when things come into your life even faster. So just choose one thing today, this week, and then choose another habit or thing that you're going to take on the week after. Doesn't have to be all at once, but choosing one thing is already going to start shifting you.
Yes, it just takes one little step. You want to end up in another room. You can't get in another room by sitting on the couch wishing you were in another room. Like you got to take the little steps that get you to the other room.
I love that.
And so
I love that. I love that.
I'm taking these steps one day at a time. And then one day you're going to be like, oh, wait a minute. How'd I get here? I'm exactly where I wished I was like a month ago, a year ago, even a day ago. All it takes is doing the action and not just wishing and hoping
Yeah.
and praying. Like, you got to do it, believe that you are that person, you'll get there. And I know that's a
Yeah.
lot of my
Absolutely.
shifts in my life was like when I got rid of a lot of my limiting beliefs, I was like, you know what? No, I am that person. I am that person who deserves, a life of ease and a life of peace, a life of
Mm-hmm.
happiness and health and wealth and abundance. Like, I say that to myself all the time. Like, I am deserving. Before, I
Yes,
used to
love
say
that.
affirmations. I would be like, I am happy, I am healthy, I went through that. But it wasn't until like I shifted my mindset, like, I am deserving, I am worthy.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was one of my biggest shifts, is like realizing, because it's easier to just say all these affirmations, but when you're like deep down in your subconscious, like, you don't believe that you are worthy, then you're not going to get what you want if you don't believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to add something to that, because affirmations can be very powerful when we actually believe them subconsciously,
Yeah.
right? So if you have like, I'm not good enough, and you're just putting affirmations over and over it, going like, I am good enough, I am good enough, I am good enough, and doing them every day till you're blue in the face. It's like putting a band-aid on an infected wound. The wound is still there, the infection is still there. Doing timeline therapy, so getting to the root cause of that I'm not good enough belief, rewiring those neurological pathways to create new positive beliefs that you actually believe on a subconscious level. That's like cleaning out the wound. So
Yeah.
it's done. So when you do say the affirmations, you actually believe them,
Mm-hmm.
because you cannot rewire a belief with affirmations unless you actually believe them. And
Yes.
that's why people just get sugar highs from affirmations.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of times I used to do affirmations and I'd feel so excited. I'll be like, yep, fully in my power. And then the next day, gone, done.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I was back to not feeling good enough yet, because this hasn't been rewired.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you can't outperform your beliefs.
Mm.
You
Because
just can't.
your beliefs are locked in, right? It's like
Yeah.
it was there before you even were aware that you even had that belief.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's just there. So as a child, you
Yeah.
have these beliefs, before you were even had the capacity to even think about what it is that you believe
Mm-hmm.
in. Like when I was growing up in church, you hear the beliefs that you are not worthy, or because you're a sinner. And so that
Mm-hmm.
really, that was one of my biggest beliefs that I had to rewire, being told that I wasn't worthy of love, and
Yeah.
and that was one of my biggest limiting beliefs, and it was just something that it didn't really click until the past year, when
Yeah.
I was rewiring my brain. Like, I didn't realize that belief was keeping me from receiving the love I deserve and receiving the life that I want, because I thought I wasn't worthy. And
Yeah.
in my life, I was attracting people that wasn't treating me right. And I was just thinking, well, I'm not deserving of love, real love. So I'm just putting up with this,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
craziness.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't believe what I was putting up with, because I didn't feel worthy to have real love.
Yeah. Oh, it's such a beautiful share and such beautiful awareness that you came to, right? Because we will create a minimum standard that we believe we're worthy of, that's in alignment with our current beliefs. And
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're receiving what we're currently receiving. Not just in business, not just with money, but with like relationships,
Relationships, yes, yes. And for
with
me, that's what
business,
it
with family.
was. Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah.
it really, you don't realize that these limiting beliefs is what's keeping you from having the life that you want. Like
Yeah.
you start thinking you're a victim, I'm not deserving because, it's just a belief that you didn't even realize that you picked up. But is it really like true? Like you don't even think, is it true? It took me having my second child to realize, like, when she was born, she was already loved.
Yeah.
Like she didn't have to earn it. She didn't have to, she didn't have to do anything to receive love, to be worthy of love. Like we just love her. Like she could do no wrong in our eyes. Like we love her to death. And
Yeah.
when I realized that about me, I'm like, I was a baby once. Like I didn't have to earn love. Like my parents loved me before I was even born, like, and God loved me before I was even
Yeah.
created into this human form. And just like having that realization, you're like, it flipped everything. And now I see evidence of, because before I saw evidence that I wasn't deserving. And now I am seeing evidence of I am deserving. And all the love that I longed for, I'm receiving now. And not just from myself, but in people that I wouldn't expect to love on me,
Yeah.
like people to
Oh, I
love on
love
my
that.
kids. And it's just changing my belief system, rewired my brain to see that I am loved, when before
Yeah.
I didn't think I was worthy of love. And now I'm like, I'm so loved by so many people.
Oh, I love that. And it's so special. And you're right, it's so transformational because it's all connected. Limiting beliefs around ourselves, money, business, love, it's all connected. And when all the beliefs are on in alignment in all areas,
Hmm.
that's when you shift. That's when the identity shifts. That's when your leadership shifts. And that's when your external results and even your inner power shifts. It's
Hmm.
all connected. I love that.
Yeah. And you don't realize that you are in control of your reality. Like you can
Hmm.
literally shift realities by shifting your mindset. It all starts here. And but we're not taught that, we don't realize that we have the power
Yeah.
already to create this life that we want, and to have it all. We have the power to choose that, to have it, but it's all about changing our limiting beliefs. And I think you're doing incredible work. You're doing God's work. Girl, you're doing
Oh,
God's
thank
work.
you, lovely. Thank you. I love seeing, like, I mean, of course, seeing women make more money is incredible and that's exciting. But what lights me up more is seeing women like step into their power, taking their
Yes.
confidence back, taking their power back, and owning who they really are at a soul level, not just a level where they're looking to make others happy and wear some kind of mask and anything like that, but live a life in alignment with their dreams, their values, their beliefs, and their passion and purpose. It's really like something I don't take for granted that I get to do. That's for sure.
You're definitely, you know, doing a soul aligned work. You're doing work. It's not just, serving you,
Mhm.
but you're serving others, which is, to me, is like just the highest work out there. Healing. You're healing people. You're a healer, and
Yeah,
that's an incredible, you know, incredible gift. It's a gift. You have that desire to help other women, and you're not just keeping all this information for yourself. Like you're wanting to help others, and you're getting paid to do it, which is even better. It's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It's definitely, as I said, not something I take for granted and something I get so much like joy, passion, and purpose from doing. Like it
Hmm.
just lights me up like nothing else.
I think it's incredible work, and I'm sure that your younger self, you know, would be so proud of who you are today. If your younger self was listening to you today, I want to know, um, what message you would like to leave her if she is listening to you today.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So I would say to her, like, you were so worthy you are so more than good enough, and you have no idea the magic that's about to unfold. So just keep trusting and keep taking action.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. That's one thing I feel like we all need to do is really go back and talk to our younger self and
Mm-hmm.
leave our younger self a message. Um, seeing yourself today, the woman you are today, and you should be so proud of yourself. I look back, at my 17-year-old self, and I think that she would be so proud of me for
Yeah.
for who I am today, and finally learning to love myself and seeing who I am, you know,
Yeah, I
um,
love that.
finally seeing myself for who I am, and my worth and my value, and loving myself, truly loving myself for the first time in my life. Like, I
Yeah.
know my 17-year-old self would be so proud of me. And I know your younger self would be so proud of you. You're out there just changing the
Yeah.
world, changing lives. That's the highest calling, is out there transforming lives, and doing it effortlessly, is a sign that, it's God aligned. You know,
Yeah.
you're out
Yeah.
there just living your best life in Bali, in Peru, in New Zealand. You get to do what you love all around the world, and it
Yeah.
doesn't affect your business. You can do it from anywhere around the world. Yeah, I think your younger self is very proud of you.
Yeah, thank you, my love. Thank you. I know she is. And you're right, it's so important to do that connection, that inner child healing. And that's why I love integrating it into my work, because, yeah, it's powerful. It's so powerful. So thank you so much receiving that, receiving all that love. Thank you, my love.
Yeah, no problem. And thank you for being on the show today. I really appreciate you being on. When I first started this podcast and I thought about interviewing people, I was kind of like scared to like ask. But I'm like, well, you ask not, you get not.
Exactly,
So,
exactly.
and I'm so glad that you said yes. And, and the people listening for years to come, whoever
Hmm.
comes across this episode, I know that they will get something out of this.
Hmm.
You know, the work that you do is so powerful, and I will share your link and through this podcast, and forever tell everybody about you and what you do.
Oh, thank you.
Seriously,
Thank
you have
you.
transformed my life, and I want others to be transformed too. And you know, you're such a great person. You're so sweet and you're so supportive. And I just think I think the world of you, and you deserve to be like 100K a day type of coach, and worth it.
Oh, thank you, lovely.
One day,
Thank
right?
you.
One day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Nothing is
Thank you so much.
impossible. Nothing is
Nothing,
impossible.
nothing is impossible, that's for sure. And, thank you so much for trusting me, with your transformation, with supporting you, into stepping into this new identity. It's definitely such an honor and a privilege to have been such a huge part of your journey. And of course, come and share on here just a little bit of what I do.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love this. It's just been so amazing that God had aligned us.
Hmm.
God brought you in my path to help transform me. And I was already doing the work, but I just needed someone to help me. And you were one of them. And I
Yeah.
really, you're an angel. You're a God sent. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome, my love. So welcome.
Yeah. Well, thank you for being on this show, and best of luck with the rest of your journey, wherever God brings you. I know that your work is not done. You're just getting better and better at what you do, and I appreciate you for being on the show.
Yeah, you're so welcome, my love. Thank you again for inviting me on. It's been beautiful to share.
No, mwah. Thank you, thank you.
Mwah. Bye, my love.
Bye.